Happy New Year, everyone. It's Lindsey Baker with Action Hour, and I am so pleased to be here with Inanna. Thank you so much for being here today. You are the pyramid pop music goddess. You are an amazing environmentalist, and today you are bringing a very important message that may well help save the world. I want to jump right into your latest song, Are We Vampires? We're going to play that right now, and then we'll talk about it.
But we are storytellers who write new futures for this world. We are wild creators, uniting hearts and minds of gold. We are brave defenders when we surrender to what's right. We are gentle servants who come together when it's time. We are all peacemakers when we look into each other's eyes. We're untiring givers, the ones who won't give up the fight. Yes, we are. Oh, we are. But who we are is not carved in
Wow, I am blown away. And the beauty of that is just amazing. And I love I saw some familiar faces and I love the collaborative nature of it. But I have to ask you to tell us a little bit about, how you came up with the theme, We Are Vampires, and Are We Vampires? And we can change. That was just, folks, that was just the end of the song, the first part. I'd like you to talk about the first part of the song, if you would.
Sure. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you for having me here today. And Happy New Year, everyone. This is the first interview of the year. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Are We Vampires? It was my latest single, and it's a song that is an anthem to duality, to the split nature of humans. I really wanted to discuss the two sides of humans when it comes to their relationship with nature and the planet. So I started writing a song that was talking about us as exploiters and takers of the planet. That's why the word vampires. And I started going down that hole of our bad side of our relationship with nature, but I didn't want to stay there in that feeling. So I suddenly started thinking, okay, it's true, we are this for nature, but we're also a lot more as humans. And in that moment, I started writing. Basically, it became an anthem to human nature and all we are and all we can be towards the planet, towards other creatures. Right. So it started to become much, much brighter, and the song became this, two-faced environment that is reflected on the video. So the first part is very dark and mysterious. The second part is very jubilant and open and wonderful. And as you say, it was a wonderful moment of collaboration among a lot of wonderful beings that made this happen together with me. And the video became a celebration of all humans can be towards animals and the planet.
That is just amazing. Let's look at a couple of the behind the scenes takes and we'll talk.
Maybe we can start actually filming just like little what's happening now.
Let's do it.
Love it. Love it. Perfect. Yeah.
That's a problem. I got to where I get
So my first question that comes up is, how do you undertake something like this? It's so inspiring. And I think one of the points that we really want to talk about today is how you are using your artistic, your creativity, your amazing talent as activism, and others can use their talents similarly. And I think it would be inspiring for our audience to hear your like journey of how you came to this point and how you undertook this project.
Sure. So I like calling it artivism. I found this word in a wonderful book. Actually, it's called "The Art of Activism," and it exactly talks about this: how to use artistic skills for activist purposes. And it says how incredibly powerful it becomes when you can unite the practical, organizational power, effective power of activism with the emotional power of the arts. It's such an incredible union, of these two things. So I came up, with this. I just wanted to say I do artivism. That's my job now.
What an
And
amazing job.
yes,
Oh,
and yeah, so all the songs are dedicated to different environmentalist or animalist issues, and it's been very well received. And I have to say that everything I've been able to do so far was not only the fruit of a lot of perseverance and belief in what I'm doing, because I do extremely believe in the power of the arts when it comes to creating change and awareness and creating emotion around topics, which is the first step for change, right? um, but it was also because of the extreme amount of help that I got from so many people that believe in the same things that I believe in, and that just jumped up right in with all the music videos and songs. And I wouldn't have been able to do what I've done so far if it wasn't for all this incredible collaborative spirit and spirit of support that I found in this place here in Los Angeles, among all these wonderful creatives, with a lot
are
of
you? Go
sorry,
ahead.
an eye to the future. That's the only thing I wanted to add.
So your background, you are actually from Italy, and you do so many things. You're a producer, you're a singer, songwriter, performer, belly dancer, and your parents come from an entrepreneurial background. Well, at least your dad did, and your mom was a psychiatrist. So maybe that whole, you want to talk about a little how that affected your music? How do you think, did that have an influence?
Sure. I feel like the international feel of it, and the hint of Middle Eastern sounds and kind of world sounds is definitely because I have traveled a lot. I've lived in different places. I lived in Italy, in Spain, then here. I started doing belly dancing. I think it was 2005. So it's been so many years, and I've always been very attracted to anything Middle Eastern. And then from the family point of view, I feel like with the fact that my mother was a psychologist, like she's always taught me to look beyond things and behind things. And also knowing that everything that we do, especially in the arts, speaks to many layers of ourselves and our personality. So I've always had this idea of doing a kind of art that, can be used from a superficial point of view because it's very digestible, it's very, it can be commercial, but at the same time, if you really dig, if you really look into it, if you read the lyrics, you understand that there are so many other things behind. So I feel this relationship with psychology helped me to be more conscious, more aware of those different layers. And my dad, yeah, was a very entrepreneurial spirit. Unfortunately, he's not here with us anymore, but very, very entrepreneurial, very future oriented all the time. And he was actually the first that made me record my first album when I think I was 14 or something. So he was the one that really, really pushed me to believe in myself and in my dreams and in the things that I want to say to the world. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, that is amazing. And speaking of which, you also came out with a book, and it's a book of all the songs for the animal kingdom and the future of nature. It's called Acrotopia. Here's the copy. I have it. That's my copy. I purchased, and there is a foreword by Anders Dunker, who, of course, is your husband, Sweetie Pie. But it is amazing It is amazing. I read some of it. He's an amazing writer. I can't wait to finish reading that. And we want everybody to know that they can purchase this on Amazon and get the lyrics to your songs. Now, have you written? I just want to clarify. These are all these songs that you have written? That
Yes,
is so
absolutely. Here it is. I
amazing.
have it here too. So it's all the lyrics that I've written in these years only for this particular music project, because I had been a singer before this, of course, but only 4 years ago I decided to become Inanna, embody this figure, and dedicate all my music to nature. So all these songs are the ones that have been written in these years, so all dedicated to animals and the future of the planet. Some are released and they are the ones that you can listen to online, and other ones have not been released yet. Maybe some will, maybe some will just stay as poems. It depends, you know. Music inspiration is a very different thing, and it happens sometimes it's different.
So you actually only started to do the activism in your music 4 years ago, and it's had an amazing impact. I want to play from the Spotify if we
Uh-huh.
can. Let's see if we
Sure.
can play. Change, I believe, is the one I would like to play. Now,
Uh-huh.
this is your music, and you give us permission to play it.
Absolutely, go ahead. This is Heal,
It's a
actually.
simple feeling, so ancient, so revealing, moving inside the womb of the earth. Give a body to this happening, a risky incarnation. You're proving strong.
All right, I love it. I want to play the other one as well, but I just wanted to say I'm a little afraid of how long we could play them, but so I'm trying to keep them short. What a
Sure.
feeling. I mean, I just automatically started moving. The music is hypnotic. It's just
You know
amazing.
why? This song actually is called Heal, and the rhythm is so hypnotic because it's the rhythm called Ayub in the Middle East, and it was used for a dance in Egypt called Zar. It was an ancient dance used from women to women, among women, to actually enter a trance, a state of trance. The rhythm goes tum, pa, tum, pa, tum, and you know, it goes used to go on for a very long time with these women together in this incredible
Wow.
ritual. So I decided to write a song that was about healing, but in this case transferring the healing from the person to the whole planet, right? So it's a song about healing the planet, but the rhythm is that one that was used to enter into trance. That's why you immediately want to.
Oh, well, it's very effective, I have to say. I want to play a little bit of change, and we'll do the same thing here.
See rising, keep crying. Now we all know the truth. Can't you see? There's nothing left to prove. So what's the key? It's time to change, but here we are, still blind to the damages we have done. It'll be too.
And unfortunately, I have to cut that off, folks, but you can listen on, you can go to Spotify and listen to all of that amazing music. I'm going
Thank
over it.
you.
That is so mood altering for me. It's
Mm.
something that we need today in our lives. And I just wanted to read a couple of what some of the reviews you've gotten.
Thanks. Mm.
Anna always has something relevant, and she makes an impact through an insanely astute visual production, always dealing with nature, animals, and the future of the planet. And that's Rhodey magazine. And I think that is such an amazingly true statement there. Another one I really liked, between the messages of feminine power and awareness for the necessary changes humanity must make, Inanna creates a glimpse into the future we all hope is coming. Vents magazine. Yes, yes. Can you talk about that a little bit? How you feel the future can change?
Yeah, absolutely. The thing I wanted the most, through everything I do, my day job, all my habits, my daily habits, and by consequence, my art too, was to contribute to this change, because of course it comes from higher powers and governments, but it also comes from us, from our daily choices, from everything we do. And above all, I wanted to talk about it because things change also when we really take them in, and when we understand in our soul and through emotions. And I thought, what's better than the arts and music to touch someone's soul, even if it's just a glimpse, a moment. But I feel both music and visual arts or film, sometimes they make you uh, connect with something so ancient inside yourself. In one moment, it can be a moment of realizing something, and it can be just a song or one documentary or something, or a conversation with someone. So I simply decided to make that part of my mission, my daily mission, through the music and through everything I do. And yes, I do believe in change, even if sometimes every day you wonder, can it happen? Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen fast enough? But if we don't try it, and if we just think everything is going to be doom and gloom, it's just not going to happen. So what
Exactly.
I really wanted to simply invite people to understand and to see that a better future is possible. Absolutely. And actually the word acrotopia, of the title of the book,
Yeah.
is a word that my husband and I invented, actually, because acro, from acrobatics, means high, like higher, high. Topia is place. So I didn't want
Yeah.
to talk about utopia, for example, when thinking of the future, because utopia feels like something unattainable, unreachable, that will never be possible. But you also don't want to enter into the dystopian world, which is, of course, very much exploited these days in film, and in everything you always talk about
Yes.
dystopia. So I wanted to find not something in the middle, but something better. Like acrotopia means the higher place, the high place, which is something that feels reachable, because it's the place where we can all learn to do things better, simply better than we have done them so far, especially towards the relationship with nature and animals. So that's why the title acrotopia, and I feel it kind of summarizes what I'm trying to do.
I think it is just so inspirational, like I said before. Tell us some of the other, there's Nefertiti. Now, was that part of the activism, or was that before when you wrote that?
That one was actually the first Inanna single that came out in May 2019. So it's all like in 2023, in May, it's going to be 4 years from the first single. And we decided for that one because it's very powerful, and it's actually an anthem to femininity when it comes to, the importance of the feminine side of everything
Mhm.
when it comes to healing the planet. It talks about this feminine leader that would rise to make people aware. I do believe that for healing the planet and the future in general, we do need to look at things in a more feminine way in general, because of feminine empathetic qualities and So I'm sorry if I make up some words sometimes, but you know, I'm Italian, so
No, that was
I might
that
say
was
some
good.
things that are not like totally correct, but
But it takes both. It takes a balance, I think, of the
Mm,
masculine, feminine. And right now we are in overlap. The masculine is way, let's
exactly.
be the right, is way too
Mm-hmm.
up here, and the feminine, it's got to be more balanced. And definitely, I think I agree that the female energy is
The
what is
nurturing
bringing this.
qualities, the
Yeah.
empathy qualities, that's what we really need to show much more now towards lands and territories and animals, because so far it's been a lot of dominance and exploitation, which is clearly a more masculine quality. So
Yes.
the juice of the song was about that, like looking at nature and animals with much more nurturing and empathic ways of seeing.
Let's look at a couple more clips.
Are you ready for your poses? 3, 2, 1. Are we there? Okay. Alright.
Wow. When I see that clip, I think, how long did it take for all of those people to be able to rehearse that in sync and then shoot it? Can you talk a little bit about that?
It was actually quite a fast shoot. I don't want to say the fast. No, it wasn't the fastest of all the ones we've done, but it was just one day. And I simply sent people some information, like coordination for the day, but we did everything on set the day of. They were super at just receiving, you know, my instructions and being very open to anything that would happen on stage that day. So
Right.
yeah, it was really, really easy. And I think it was from 9 to 6 or something. So it wasn't one of those
Great.
like days that never end. Like it was actually very effective, one of the most effective shoots. And of course, it's hard to coordinate. We were like 20 people on set, more or less. But it was a lot of fun and they really enjoyed it. And so I think it was the most fun shoot so far.
Well, believe it or not, we're nearly out of time. I want to play the third clip and a couple more, and we'll talk about them
You
together.
can move, you can turn, you don't have to like always face towards the camera. Basically right now it's the party time, you know?
Wow, that is just so much fun watching you guys and the collaborative aspect of it and all those amazing costumes. So creative. I have another clip kind of showing just a summary of all your work. Let's watch that.
This is an age of bright confusion. The Arcadia, so technological. Did we get here? What went wrong in history? The history of you and me. When did you stop seeing? It's time to change, but here we are, still blind to the damages we've done. It'll be too late when we wake up to see the shadow players we've become. A whole new view, natural-centric.
Wow, I love that ending. Before we go any further, I just want to give a little plug for Unchained TV and ask everyone to download the app. We have amazing programming on this channel, and you guys are missing out because it is free if you have not downloaded it yet. Just go to watch.unchainedtv.com, download the app for free. You don't even have to give your email address and start watching. So thank you so much for being on. I have one more clip that we discussed. If you would like me to play it when you were at an event with Billie Eilish, should we play that and talk about it?
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead.
The time to rewrite faulty chapters has begun. A shift of stage is necessary, planetary, mythical. For all the chapters we wrote and those we began, the heroes of new journeys find the path before the storm sets in. For all the roads we take and those we leave behind, forever changing, silently making our new path.
There we go. So what was that all about? Tell us about that event.
That was a wonderful experience. I actually discovered the Environmental Media Association quite a long time ago, I think a couple of years ago, and I really wanted to do something with them, collaborate with them, volunteer, work with them in any of their events. And I started doing that last year. I think the Impact Summit was last April, so that was my first experience with them. Amazing panels, amazing guests, really, really wonderful. And I worked again at this event, which was the Environmental Media Awards, where Billie and her mother, they were recipient of I think it was the Impact Award, I don't remember, but the main award of the evening. And I had the honor to be working there that evening. It was really a wonderful experience to be meeting all these amazing people that are making such a difference for media and the arts in general, you know, when it comes to the future of the planet. And I was very, very happy also to see that thanks to Billie and her mother, the full dinner was made plant-based, because
Lovely.
unfortunately before the Environmental Media Association wasn't giving all like fully vegan, fully plant-based. And so I was wondering, it's really about time for them to change, because it's such a big, you know, issue, especially for environmental events, you know how it is. So I was very, very happy to see that Billie and her mother had such an influence and such an impact on the event itself. And that tells you how much arts can do, because I
Yes.
know that Billie and her mom are supporting a lot and doing so much for plant-based eating all over the world, with the concerts, with all the activities that Support and Feed is starting. Support and Feed is Maggie Baird's, Billie Eilish's mother's organization, nonprofit organization. So it was really great. It's so aligned with everything I do and everything I believe in. It was great to meet them and meet Nikki Reed and many other wonderful guests they had that
I
evening.
wanted to ask you, because we only have a few more minutes, what are some projects you have coming up?
So apart from more music, of course, I was just about to say, because it has to do a lot with the Environmental Media Association, I also have another project aside, which is my second job apart from the music. It's called Better Earth Media, and it's a nonprofit organization that puts together everything that is in the intersection between arts and environment. So what we do is amplifying voices of all those who are speaking up for the planet, especially artists and entrepreneurs and organizations. So far, we have organized several panels at Soho House here in Los Angeles. And our next one is going to be on January 25th. And actually, Maggie Baird's, Billie Eilish's mom, will be there presenting Support and Feed. That's why it was a perfect fit for now with the video that we just saw. So yeah, I'm very, very excited. And so apart from the music, there will be a new single coming out probably end of January, beginning of February. You'll know more about it very soon. But yes, there will
And it's
be.
related to the projects you're working on, these new projects that you're working on.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's
So
amazing.
music and Better Earth Media. We're planning also for a bigger Earth Day event this year. We did one last year, but there's going to be a much bigger one. So I'll also talk more about this very soon. But for now, new single and Better Earth Media event on January 25th. These are the bigger things coming up.
Well, I just want to say that this last review, there is nothing more inspiring than an artist who exudes passion that you can feel in your heart. Inanna is that kind of artist who is willing to take on a leadership role, and you certainly do. And I want to thank you so much for being on today. I would love to have you come back and update us as things continue to grow and expand. And we want to experience more of what you're doing. Are getting really good feedback from our audience. So thank you for coming on today.
Thank
Is there any last
you.
thing
Thank
you want to
you.
tell our audience before we go?
Oh, simply do a lot of art that will inspire people for the future, because it stays in online, it stays in things, and it stays in the heart. So
Thank you. And you
thank
certainly
you so
are a
much
good,
for having me.
thank you. And you're certainly a good example of that. So bye, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Bye everyone. Thank you, Lindsay. Bye bye. Thank you.